What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got a couple of cheesy low tier for life duels for you guys to check out. The first one is going to be ABC Ojamas plus some artifacts in there, which I just kind of feel like you are destined to get super bricky hands. ABC Ojama is already kind of bricky because you're going to be running and drawing the Ojamas at some point. But when you throw in some artifacts, it can get even more bricky. I mean, if you draw Sanctum, it's good, but if you get the other artifact monsters, then maybe not so good. And then we got Trap Tricks at the bottom, still waiting for Trap Tricks Sarah. It's really interesting because this guy kind of runs this deck very similarly to like Chain Burn. You guys will see exactly what I mean when he resolves his first kind of chain of trap cards. So he's gonna go straight into Sarah and then set 4 cards. I think I've said this about a billion times. I love Link 1 so much. When an archetype can just take any one of their monsters and just go straight into their kind of like power play, it is so good for the consistency of the archetype. So his opponent basically says, I'm just going to mirror that. I'm going to set a bunch of back row. He's going to activate the copy of the Phantom Knight's Brigadine. His opponent's going to respond with Ojama Party. Now he can activate Reckless Greed and then activate Accumulated Fortune. This is a card I've only really seen in Chain Burn or maybe some scuffed Exodia builds, but in Trap Tricks, it can actually make sense because you can now resolve like Sarah. He gets to draw a bunch of cards. Keep in mind, he can't draw in his next couple of draw phases, but it's fine. He's going to go for Sarah and he's going to summon Mermilio from his deck. He gets to pop a back row, but he got jebaited here because his opponent says, you just triggered my artifact Scythe, the one brick that I opened with, or probably the biggest brick. He's gonna bottomless that Scythe though. He's locked out of his extra deck for the rest of the turn, and yeah, it looks like he is just going to summon the Mantis, get a search, and then set a couple of back row. That could have been worse, but I think it's okay. Ojama Party is going to get banished by Dynamiscus. That means that Sarah can now activate and get him, he gets a monster from his deck, and now Ojama look like they're trying to go for the pop-off, but Floodgate Trap Hole is looking pretty good here because it puts all of them face down, and he gets to summon the copy of Mermilio from his deck. Now he's going to go after our back row, and he hits another freaking artifact card. This time he ends up hitting the Sanctum. His opponent says, hey man, you got to stop trying to randomly MST my back row because it's not working. But he is able to basically respond. His opponent is trying to blow up his Trap Trick Chapeau Nightmare. However, he can just simply use the Trap Trick monster. He can bounce to his hand, and now he can just reset it. So basically, Mantis says, you're not going to pop my card. He tries to summon the blue Ojama. That gets put face down as well. And now he's left with just this little red Ojama who is not very intimidating, especially considering he plays Utopia double. I feel like if you're playing a low tier deck and you can easily rank 4 like Trap Tricks, there's 0% chance that you should not be running this card. I kind of feel like it should be staple because the thing is, you're essentially running one brick card in double or nothing to potentially do this to your opponent. You just hit them in random situations for 10,000 damage. Granted, you're not always going to run into a 0 attack position monster, but I just feel like it gives you the opportunity to just close out games. And I mean, let's be real, he would have had to probably, if he doesn't have Utopia the Lightning, or excuse me, Utopia double here, he probably has to grind this duel out for like 3-4 more turns, attacking through all these stupid Ojama monsters. Why not just have a win button for situations like this? I feel like if you're playing a deck that can rank 4 easily, you need to just run the one brick at double or nothing and play Utopia double. Anyway, second duel featuring Evil Heroes versus Necroz, and he has an interesting card in here. You guys see it in the opening hand. That card is actually Santa Claus. Now, you know, the average duelist is like, Cap, why not just play Kaijus? But a 200 IQ genius understands Santa Claus is the new meta, boys. And you guys will see why in a second. Anyways, he's going to hero list for Shadow Mist, get that Surge. And he's going to go for the Santa Claus, which I saw that and I was like, why not just play Kaijus? I'm not a 200 IQ duelist, though. He's going to go ahead. He's going to summon Stratos from his deck. And this is kind of why you want to go ahead and do that. He's going to search, by the way. Summons Vision Hero Vion. And he should be going into Summon Sorceress. So the reason that he actually wanted to go with Santa Claus and not a Kaiju is this is actually a Fiend type. So now he can summon an Evil Hero straight from his deck. Evil Heroes are not warriors. They're actually Fiend. Shoutouts to Gladiator's Assault. He's going to go for Vision Hero Adoration. So, I mean, I believe he summoned what? Like, he summoned an Elemental Hero, a Vision Hero, and a Masked Hero all in one turn, as well as an Evil Hero. I mean, if he throws Destiny on the board, dude's basically basically ran the full gauntlet. I don't think he's going to summon any Destiny heroes, but that's still pretty impressive, if I don't say so myself. His opponent is going to maybe try to Trishula him here. The problem is Dark Law has historically always been pretty good against Necroz because Necroz do a bunch of searching, plus they want to send cards to the graveyard, so give me that Trish out of your hand. You're lucky you got a second Trish. He is going to Trish him. He's going to get rid of the Adoration. I mean, maybe he needs to get rid of that sword before he can attack over the Dark Law, or maybe Dark Law can just like suicide here. Prism is going to be summoned, and that's just going to drop a Malicious Edge into the graveyard. He's going to suicide, and he gets what, 1700 damage. His opponent top decks Ash Blossom. He has to set it, otherwise Prisma will just attack him for game. But unfortunately, his opponent, he top decked another evil hero, and he has exactly what he needs to go for the Dark Fusion. Now he can simply just win the duel, because if you guys don't know, evil hero Dark Gaia, it can actually flip your opponent's face down monsters into attack position, which it was the perfect card to actually counter a set monster that has 0 attacks. So he could flip the Ash Blossom, make it be face up attack a position, and simply just run it over, and that would obviously be GG no re. So yeah, definitely evil heroes. I would really like to see evil heroes get more support. They were dope in the anime with season 3 of GX, but in Gladiators Assault, they were like a super. So many of them were like ultra rares too. I remember when Gladiators Assault came out, like so many of those fucking cards took away like the hollow spots because, you know, Supreme King Jaden played them on the show and whatnot. But I would like to see Konami go back to evil heroes and, I don't know, make them like playable, because all the other heroes throughout time have pretty much been successful except these guys. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.